kitchen. So like that's the shower, and the toilet, and the sink, and the other sink, and the space for laundry machine, and then there's the like
Went to Trivellis again because I love Trivellis. I love their tiramisu. I took my lactose already. And I think it's supposed to be finger food, but like, I want to say half. It's kind of crushed, but so I kind of cut off how much I love Olympic Orchids as a brand, as a perfume house, but if you know me in person and you start to talk to me about it, I will just yap your ear off. So it started getting around to different friends that I adore this house and I adore this perfume brand, but unfortunately they don't ship overseas anymore, or they are based in, I actually don't know which state, I think Pacific Northwest somewhere, but they don't ship overseas, or they'll only ship to USA and Canada addresses. And of course I could try using a shipping forwarder, but every time that I've tried to, for some reason it just doesn't work out, and then it's so expensive. I figured, okay, I'll just stop trying after 2 or 3 tries. But one of my friends is going to Canada and she has an address there, so I could ask her if I could just order to her address and then she could bring it back for me, and she said she was more than happy to. Amazing, great. But because she knows I love perfume so much, we decided to meet up and have like a little chat. Oh my goodness, so I brought all of my Olympic Orchid perfume samples to have a little sniffing test, or a little sniffing party, just so she could see what I was so in love with. And of course it was really fun. We had a great time. I had lunch before and then we just had like a little sniffing party. She loved it, and then because she was so enthusiastic and then she knows that I love perfumes and she loves perfumes too, she decided to bring a bunch of the samples that she had and share them with me. And she said, you know, there's so many, you can just take this whole bag, take it home and like sniff them and then give it back to me whenever you're ready to, because it's like, oh, you can't possibly sniff this much in one day. So I said, and it was such a surprise and it was so wonderful. And there was an immense amount of perfumes. Like I could not even finish sniffing them in the span of like what, a week, unless I really put my nose to the test. But I'll show you, I'll put in a clip of all of the perfumes and samples maybe, or like organized into like different charts of all the houses that they're a part of. But she's so amazing. And I just, oh my gosh, love her, love. Love perfumes. Also, the whole thing might just come off as like an ad for this, but it's not. I've never heard of this website before, but I'm sure my friend has, and so maybe she likes to order from them because they've got such a wide variety, clearly such a wide variety of fragrances to pick from, and I think these are like 1 milliliter samples, so wonderful. Love. I will be doing a sniffing of all of them, trying them. I know with Sorority and Lattafa, a lot of them have various similar base notes or DNA, so I might not be able to get too much. I think the only full bottle I have of is like Oud Mood, which I've made like a huge dent in. But aside from that, okay, this doesn't look like that much, but oh my goodness. And a lot of them are like Arabian houses or houses that I haven't actually had samples from or sniff tests from, so I'm so excited. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. I've very, very vaguely sorted out all of these perfumes into like roughly their different houses. So a ton from Cerati, Latafa, amazing, love the house. Maison Alhambra, I think there's like a few, and then there's a few from these ones. Nabil also, I think they do. I think they're best known for their bahor, but I could be wrong. And then Byredo, Typology. I don't know what this is. Wow, it's cozy. And then Sensorium, I heard of. I think they're either an Australian brand or I saw them a lot on Instagram, and they're promoting improved brain function through aromatherapy or scent. So, whatever. But, okay, 1, 2, 3 massive houses, and then all of these that I don't even know about. So, this is. I have so many things, and also they all smell wonderful, and I'm sure my hands are going to smell like them once I finish sniffing, but that's so exciting! Um, oh, yes, I got overcharged for sushi. I had went in, got like a little sushi roller, I think one of the packs, um, but the person before me had either not tapped or maybe like the same order was on the screen, and so I tapped my card and I got charged for 150. I didn't realize it at the time because you just tap and go. In a food court, especially, it's so busy. A few days later, I checked my bank account. I've been charged 150. Like, I didn't know it was possible for someone to spend 150 on sushi rolls or just like trays of sushi. I guess it makes sense for trays, but I just didn't realize that was possible, or it never occurred to me that someone would spend 150 on sushi. So a few days later, I had to go back in and be like, hey, I got overcharged. I think this is it. I had a receipt and everything, so that was fine, but it was just a very odd experience. Yeah. Yeah, the staff were super nice and understanding. The manager was great. So got refunded, no issue, just paid for what I had already purchased beforehand, so that was fine, but it was just stressful, I think. 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. We got this. We got this. Yeah. Yeah. She was a fairy. It's a bit much. What grot is this though? It looks so gross, but it's all like salted remnants. Oh, I didn't record any of that. Thank you. Thank you.
Đấy,
Yes.
vào phòng đi vật lại. Sợ đấy.
A most precious betel leaf. This one's from Lucia, wherever it is. My lovely feverfew. It's grown considerably. And the mycelium that's popped up with my beautiful loquat. Someone has dug away my money plant. This capsicum, pepper, strawberries, no berries, only straw. And tiny little, oh, I got eaten. Okay, but this one's still heavily infested, but you can still see there's a pepper. There you go, a tiny little pepper. it's going. I dug up some of the... That's where most of the garden is gone.
Nó là linh mải cháu là tạc cao là mày.
Yup. Okay, I got the moon. You're big at this. Wow. That's the moon. Let's see if I can see it through the... Just pink bright lights. Ooh. Thank you.
Such as tones and noise. No action on your part is required. Thank you for understanding.
Internet free for many days, but at what cost? At what cost? Okay, hi, hello, this is me from July. I just have some stuff that I wanted to get through and talk about, have a chit chat about, for June of 2025. So one, I don't know why, the first thing that I wrote down was a 2, I put down mineral sunscreen. In the month of June I was experimenting with a bunch of different mineral sunscreens. So I want to find one that's cheap or relatively affordable that I can use that doesn't hurt my skin, because I have one and it's like $40 for 40 milliliters, which is very hefty for a price tag of something that you're going to use on a daily basis and all over your face. So I figured I want to experiment with different mineral sunscreens that feel cosmetically elegant and are not so expensive. But I haven't had much luck. One of them, or many of them, use butyl salicylate, or I have it somewhere on my screen, hold on. Okay, a lot of them use butyl octyl salicylate, which in and of itself is fine. It's like just another skincare ingredient that enhances skin absorption, It helps with the sort of spreadability, blah blah blah. But it's either that or it's like the added fragrance or niacinamide that's making all of the different mineral sunscreens that I've tried hurt my skin, and I have very sensitive skin. So we'll see if I can. Started packing, finished packing, started decluttering, have not finished decluttering yet. Yeah, and then in terms of like consumption, like something useful for my brain, I read A Thousand Splendid Suns by the same author that wrote Kite Runner, I believe. I could be wrong, but I read it, but of course there was so much going on during this month that it was very sporadic reading for me, and I don't think I gave it the proper time or attention that it deserved, so I don't actually have that much to say on it. And I think I should go back and reread it, you know, giving myself some more time to actually digest it, because like I've read it, but I don't have anything concrete to say about it or think about it, which I think is a bit worrying. But yeah. And then in terms of media that I've consumed, lots of new music. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But I will either put it on the screen somewhere or I'll just play clips of it. I don't know if I'm going to get copyright strikes, so who knows. But also, I watched a documentary and it was finally uploaded to YouTube or somewhere that I would be able to access without having to be in America or in California. I don't know if there were different showings elsewhere or if it's sort of like it's on PBS. It's called Tyrus or Tyrus Wong or Tyrus, and it's about Tyrus Wong. And the director, sorry, I have like a bunch of different tabs open just so I can make sure I don't get anything wrong. The director is Pamela Tom, and she is an Emmy Award winning writer, director, producer, and producer, director, screenwriter. Amazing. And the film, I don't know if it's considered a documentary or a film, actually, but it's about this very multifaceted artist, Tyrus. If you've seen Bambi, then you've seen his work, but a lot of this different types of work, because he has described, you know, on Wikipedia, he's described as a painter, an animator, a calligrapher, a muralist, a ceramicist, a lithographer, kite maker, as well as a set designer and storyboard artist. So an artist in every sense of the word, where he uses different mediums to express something. I loved it. He's also from Toisan, which is hello Guangzhou, hello Toisan. So that was sort of what caught my eye. But I had seen different art works by him through all these different styles, and I had loved them immediately, but I never realized that it was an Asian American artist that had done this sort of art. And then I watched the documentary, and not only does it go through sort of the highlight reels of all of the different mediums of his art, but also you get to sort of hear from different people that have seen or interacted or just had relevance to his art. And you realize that, like, yeah, art is such a human experience. Of course it is. And then you realize sort of the relevance of different types of perspectives throughout history on art. Yeah, I don't know. What I do know is that, I don't know what I'm trying to say about it, but the documentary in and of itself has like stayed on my mind or stayed present, and I'm seeing clips of it sort of replayed in my mind. There's this one particular scene. I will include the clip if I can. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm gonna get a copyright strike. But if I do, then I'll just remove it, and I'll leave like a YouTube link or a shareable link to the documentary, because it is now on YouTube on PBS American Masters sort of segment or series. There's a very specific like 2-minute section. Of course, the whole thing I think is worth watching, but there's a very like 1 to 2 minute section that I think is very wonderful, and it's a scene where you're just seeing the blue sky and you're seeing kites that he has made floating in the sky. And for some reason, it was just so touching to me. That's just the way art works, and it was so touching. I had dreams about that particular scene or clip, and it was just really sweet. And the whole documentary was very sweet. And I think that's all from me. That's all from me. I really, if you have time, watch it. It's such a wonderful documentary, a movie even, and I really enjoyed Pamela Tom or Pam Tom, I don't know how to address her, but she really, the director of it, she really managed to go through the different highs and lows of just existing as a human in a different social in a different social landscape, and how art can encapsulate these different lived experiences, but in a very heartfelt and humanistic way, and I really adored it. So
He didn't have anything to do.
What attracted you to the kite making?
Well, because it's a different medium.
He actually got books from the library about Chinese kite building, and so he just kind of taught himself how to do it. He not only learned how to build the kites in a traditional vein, but he also learned to reinterpret it through his own creative sensibilities.
I built this butterfly, it just flies up and stands still. So I said, gee, that doesn't give me a feeling of butterfly. So I put elastic in front of it, so when the wind hits it, it brings back, it bounces back like that, so that thing went flopping like that. So the butterfly was flopping like that, see? So it catch the character of the butterfly.
When I look at Tyrus's kites, I think, of course, somebody who is an artist made these kites, because he thought about the mechanics of what he was making and how they would look when they're animated by the wind, how they would look against a blue sky.
on that note, I think that's my June recap. A lot of things happened, and I don't know if I mentioned everything, but those were sort of the things that I wrote down and that really stood out to me this month. So bye.